What's up, everybody? Ronnie George here. So today we're going to talk about a fun little thing called a contingency. So if you're serious about selling your home and you want to know how to do it quickly and effectively, just go ahead and go to workwithronnie.com. I got a ton of resources there for you, but let's go ahead and get started. So a contingency, let me go ahead and explain it. What that is it means that, let's just talk in scenarios. Say for instance, someone owns a home and they need to sell their home in order to purchase another one. That means that they cannot buy another home until they sell theirs because, one, their debt to income ratio doesn't allow it, meaning that if they took on two notes, the bank would not approve them. So that's one reason. A second reason is because they need the equity that is tied up in that current home, and they need to be able to pull that equity out and place it as a down payment. So that's really the most common reasons for a contingency. And that basically means that there's a couple solutions. You can do one route to where you search the market, you try and find a property, and then once you find a property, then you go ahead and you make an offer on it, put yours on the market, and go ahead and get it sold. So that's one of the most common ways to actually do it. This little gimbal's going crazy. So that's one of the most common reasons or ways to actually do it. You find a home first, then you place yours on the market, and then you go ahead and you make an offer and you get it agreed upon, and then you get your home sold. It's very difficult if it's a seller heavy market, or if you're in a market that some sellers don't want to do that adjustment. They know they can sell it without a contingency. So it's very difficult when it comes to that. Another option is you can price your home at a price to where you can sell it quickly and be able to get it sold very fast, and then make the offer that's contingent upon the sale of yours. So there's all kind of crazy little scenarios when it comes to a contingency. It can be very difficult. It can be very confusing at times. The way that I like to approach it is I like to help the sellers find out how much equity they have in their home, and then how much they're going to be able to take of that equity and apply it towards the down payment of the other ones. And also to help them out, what I do is I take whatever commission I would make off the sale of their home, I go ahead and reduce it so that way they can make even more money and be able to buy the home that they're trying to look for. That's why it's good I don't know if all agents do this, but I know the way that I do it is if a seller works with me to buy their next home, then I use that as a tool. I use my commission as a negotiating tool. So that's another thing that you can kind of factor in when it comes to a contingency. So those are all kinds of options to be able to get you from where you are to where you want to be. So now when it comes to pricing your property, you don't want to price it to where you leave money on the table, and you price it and you sit there and you're like, yeah, you're aggravated and you're like, we could have got more for this. But you also don't want to price it too high, because most contingencies need to sell within 45 to 60 days. So you really need to have your home under contract before that time period, because what'll happen is the longer that other home sits on the market and you haven't gotten yours under contract, someone can swoop in and take that home from you. Also, that seller might not be likely to want to renegotiate with you and extend that contingency. So it can be very difficult. So that's why pricing your home that you have to sell is actually very important. And you want to price it to where it sells fast. You don't want to give it away, but you don't want it to where it sits there on the market. So those are some factors when it comes into play. If you want some help, again, some training, some techniques besides these little impromptu videos, go to workwithronnie.com. I got a ton of resources there for homeowners of how to get their home sold very quickly, so you can easily check that out. Let me see if there's some other scenarios with contingencies that are very helpful. I've done a lot of different contingencies. Most of the time what I do is my number one thing that helps a lot is reducing that, reducing the commission, mainly because of the fact most people don't have the equity out of their current home in order to buy their next home. So that's why I even offer that as an option, because our goal is to get the home sold and get you in the newest one. If that's always the overall goal, then I would rather not tie up a sale, because commission's too inflated and you can't make the money you need to make in order to get it sold. So that's why myself and a lot of my agents kind of take that approach. We're focused on volume, and we're focused on actually getting the homeowner out of their current home and into their new one. Now, not all sellers are willing to take contingencies. Not all sellers are willing to do contingencies. It's all how you present it. So here's another thing. Say, for instance, if you're looking on the market for a while, right? I'm gonna switch hands. Hopefully this don't, I coordinate it. So say, for instance, you're looking on the market for a long time and you finally find the one that you want. I'd recommend you to go ahead and have an agent in mind, whether it's me, someone else, wherever you're watching this. Have an agent in mind that's already looked at your home. That way you know what it can sell for. You probably already have the listing paperwork already filled out. So that way, as soon as you find a home that you're looking for, you can go ahead and put yours on the market right away. So that way you're already kind of lined up. You're just kind of sitting on it. Maybe they even have a sign sitting in your garage. Maybe they have a lockbox on it. Whatever it is, you're ready once you actually find that new home. So that's one of the scenarios I'd always recommend. If you're actually serious about selling your home, go ahead and have it set up. Go ahead and have someone look at it, take the photos, know your list price, already have the paperwork signed. It's just a matter of waiting until you find that right one. That way, as soon as you find it, you can go ahead and pop it on the market the same day. Now, on the flip side, if you know for a fact you have to move and you're ready to move, and maybe even you can find temporary housing in like an apartment, or you can stay with somebody. If you have the opportunity to do so, go ahead and sell your home first, because that way you have all the strength. You have the equity from the sale of your home. You can then make an offer on another property with a lot more strength, and you don't have that contingency. So if you're able to sell your home first, most people are not. That's why I don't ever recommend this, is because most people have children or it's extremely inconvenient. But if you have the opportunity to sell your home first, go ahead and do so. Stay in somewhere that you can be temporary, especially if you're very flexible in what you're looking for, whether it's your criteria, whether it's you know that you're going to find a home. But in a market that has very, very limited inventory, it's very tough to go ahead and sell your home, put it on the market first. Next thing you know, you can sell your home and then you still haven't found a new one. So it kind of puts you in a tough spot. So again, go to workwithronnie.com. I got a ton of training on there. It'll help you out, give you all the information. We're building the site continuously, adding as much value, videos like this, information that you want to know about. And if this is a topic that you're interested in and you'd like to know more about, I'd love to hear your feedback, because I'd love to do more and more videos just like this. So look, it's getting hot. I'm sweating. It's about to rain. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Y'all have a good weekend. I appreciate your time. Have a good one.